Recording. Nächste Buch aus der Serie, A Young Economist's Guide. The title is Barriers to Entry, and it's written by Twinney and illustrated by Christopher Mercado. In jedem dieser Bücher ist so ein QR-Code, wo man dann die Bücher kaufen kann. Barriers to entry. Barriers to entry are obstacles that keep competitors from easily entering an industry or area of business. Wed the Ox has the only mining license in Schillingford. Since his company is the only one with access to the mines, he controls the entire mining industry, and Schillingford is suffering because of it. Meg the mole, that she can do better, Meg the mole knows that she can do better than Wed. But without the license, she cannot get into the mining business. How can Meg break down the barrier to entry and help out Schillingford? It's a good question. Let's see what happens. This is the 2 pages. If you cross the land of Florine in early July, with the hills a soft green and no clouds in the sky, the town of Schillingford will quickly be found, the loveliest place for miles around. July and sky rhymes, and found and around. Now Schillingford was known for a handful of things. It had suburbs, quaint shops, and some very nice swings. But more than all this, it had underground mines full of wonderful gems and abundant fuel lines. Things and swings and mines and lines, rhymes. So. Okay, folks came from all over to mine. A fine hall. But the town council said it couldn't license them all. They said, we'll give out 1 license to whoever pays us the most. And Wade the Ox stepped forward with a mega-sized boast. Most and boast rhymes and all and all. I'll take that license. I've got millions to spare. So Wade got the mining rights and did not have to share. Now everyone in town who needed the gems had to pay way too much when they bargained with him. Yep. Next one. Argent, the Erdwerkel, had a lovely tea shop, but he feared soon his selling would be forced to stop. For his peppermint magic and whisper of clove were no good without fuel to power his large stove. So the shop and stop rhymes clove and stove. What happens next? Lucre, the llama, saw his business begin to fade when ox mines refused to barter a trade. He needed the fuel to keep his huge furnace hot, but he didn't have money to purchase the lot. Fade and trade, hot and lot. So the ostrich has a story too. Ostrich. How could Scratch the ostrich fill his shop with fine rings when he couldn't buy emeralds and other such things? His showcases, once filled with glimmering gems, were empty for shoppers again and again. Rings and things. As for the people who worked tirelessly for that ox, they were paid very little to haul heavy rocks. But he had control of their work and their pay and gave his employees very little say. Ox, rocks, pay, say. Well, what's next? 2 pages again. Now there lived in town a kind mole named Mac, who'd heard of Wade and his crazy price tag. Mac came from a very long line of mole miners. She loved the long alleys and underground shiners, but she hated the way Wade ran the mine trade with prices sky high and workers underpaid. She went straight to Wade in his underground lair and said, "Your prices are high and your treatment is unfair." She told him the town folks weren't able to pay, but he said, "Take a hike," and sent her away. Pay away. Lair unfair. Meg was smart and had mining in her blood. She knew that as a boss, Wade was a dud. But while opinions of Wade were hardly complimentary, the mining license he had was a barrier to entry. So, next one. Meg went to the town council to ask for a hand, but the council said no and dismissed her whole plan. "We only had one license, so you are out of luck. It belongs to Wade, and with Wade, we are stuck." But she wouldn't give up and accept her sad fate. She went to the mayor, Crown Lion the Great. Fate, great. She gathered, that's another 2 pages. She gathered her courage and said to the mayor, "Your Honor, even so, Wade was a very high payer. He treats miners like dirt. He's overcharging the town. Businesses are in trouble. Some may even close down. Town, down, mayor, payer." Now Mayor Crown was far from a loner. He knew every shop and every shop owner. He listened to Meg and saw her long face and grew sad to hear Shillingford was stuck in this place, face, loner, owner. So what did the mayor do? Brown went to the mines to investigate Wade, but found nothing illegal with the ox mining squad. Wade underpaid workers who toiled in his mine, but everything was safe and running just fine. Fine. It's true that Wade's prices were too high for people in town, and there were no other mines for miles around. But since Wade wasn't breaking any town laws, Crown couldn't close his mine. There wasn't just cost. Laws, cost, towns around. Well, it doesn't right. So next one. Almost finished the story. So Crown came up with a great plan to sideline the council's misguided one license guideline. He wrote Mac a license from the mayor's own office, a clever idea that was virtually flawless. The town council was forced to accept Mac's right to open a mine on her chosen site. She set up her shop on the outskirts of town, and before long, Mac Mines had gained great renown. Next one. Next two pages, she charged fair prices for both fuel and jams, and treated her workers as if they were friends. Her rates were affordable for Shillingford folk, and the shopkeepers no longer feared going broke. The people of Shillingford stood in long lines to buy jams and fuel and to work in Mac's mines. From other lands in Florine, folks came in waves to buy all she had found while digging through caves. Mac's lovely jams were sold countrywide, and stoves all around burned her fine fuel inside. Lines, mines, waves, caves, countrywide, wide, and inside. So, and I think, yeah, that's the last two pages. Okay. Wade realized that he'd have to charge less for fuel and be kinder and gentler and no longer cruel. If he didn't compete with Mac's prices and ways, he'd be out of business in just a few days. Fuel, crew, ways, and days. Mac's barrier to entry was removed by Crown, and the mining competition helped the whole town. The council is reconsidering their one license rule so that more can compete to find fuel and jewels. The end of the story. Happy, healthy, and very wealthy Friday, July 14th. In the year of 2023. I'm ending my Zoom meeting now. See you on the next YouTube video. Bye. I'm ending the meeting for all.